Hey everybody, Jamie Stokes from Page Frank. I'm doing a video today on lowball offers. We know the market has changed quite a bit the past few months. Houses are dropping in the hundreds of thousands. So any gains that we made over the past little while, they're pretty much going down the drain, which is okay. You know, real estate, if you hang on to it for long enough, it's going to come back up in value, so you don't need to worry about that. Now, lowball offers. I know I've had clients before who have received lowball offers. Sometimes, as the buyer's agent, we get the clients who, for some reason, they don't want to look at market statistics. They just want to put in an offer at $50 or $100,000 below market value, and they're saying, well, you never know, we could get lucky or whatever, and they'll ask you to put in a few offers, and we're supposed to do follow our clients' instructions as long as they're lawful, and follow all of our code of ethics and Real Estate and Business Brokers Act. So if our clients want us to put in an offer, sometimes we'll have agents who don't want to put in offers. Sometimes they'll put it in anyways. Now, my question is, if you're selling your home and you put, 20, 50K, 80K, even 100K into upgrades onto your home, and, the realtors, we can see what you paid for the house, when you bought it, things like that, how long you've had it. And some people get really, really offended when they get a lowball offer. Now, I don't want to, when I have clients that get offended, I just tell them flat out, it's they're putting in, they might be testing the waters, or they're putting in what they can afford. I've had clients in the past who have not taken the highest offer or the ones with least amount of conditions. I know not everybody is money hungry. Of course, when you're selling real estate, typically it's an investment and you need to buy something else. So getting your money back out of it and making some profit is usually a good thing. But it's all up to the seller. If we get offers as a selling agent, we get offers that vary, different conditions and things like that. And I want everybody to know that we have absolutely zero say in what happens with an offer, where the seller can accept any offer that they want. It doesn't have to be the highest. It can be the lowest. It can be the one with least amount of conditions, the most amount of conditions. It's all up to the seller when we're representing the sellers. So you've got your place listed for 800K, we'll say, for example, and you get an offer for 650. Well, that's $150,000 less than what you were hoping to get for it, or what you thought your home was worth. Should you be offended? Most people are. Flat out, I'm going to say that most sellers, when they get what they consider a lowball offer, they get super offended, and I can understand that. I can relate, absolutely. You've owned this house, and the one down the street, the seller looks and the seller says, well, the one down the street sold for, 800,000, so I'm expecting 800,000 for my house. Well, when it comes to real estate, I've seen agents before where, they take things personally if their offers aren't accepted, especially if it's their own offer or family member's offer. I've seen where they get super offended by this. I'm going to say I've never been offended if my offer doesn't get accepted. I always congratulate the listing agent and their seller. Congratulations on the sale of your home. Great job. I hope everything works out. Thank you for reviewing my offer. I feel that that's awfully professional, and people will remember you when you have. I mean, they're definitely going to remember you when you have some unkind words if your offer wasn't accepted. But as a realtor, you need to understand that this is just business, and you're not going to win every offer. So that being said, you get a lowball offer. Should you ignore them? I know I've had clients in the past who want to flat out ignore sellers who come in with a lowball offer. I don't recommend coming in with a lowball offer. There's always negotiations when it comes to clauses or price or different things, what's included, what's not included. But don't be offended if you get a lowball offer. I've seen many times where somebody will put in a lowball offer on a property that's for sale, and the agent will not respond negatively. That's not your job to be negative. Your job is to sell the house And as realtors, we all need to get along with each other. You know, we're not conspiring or anything here, but it's just business. We're working together to help buyers and sellers. So, you know, if it doesn't matter if we're representing the buyer or the seller, we need to work with the opposing agent, and I shouldn't actually say opposing agent because we're all in this kind of together. We need to cooperate with each other. You know, no hard feelings, and just work with each other to make the deal happen. That's what I always say. You know, have open lines of communication and work together. So your lowball offer, my recommendation if you get a lowball offer is to you can either reach out to the buyer's agent and ask them why they put in an offer so low. They may have a genuine reason for it. It may be due to their finances, what they're approved for, and if they're looking outside of their range, don't blame the buyer's agent for that, because you have clients that plain and simple they want to just look at houses that they like, although it's out of their budget. This happens all the time. I have a serious talk. I'm very open with my clients, and I explain everything to them. And I always have an open talk about, you know, expectations. Whether you're selling or you're buying, you need to have realistic expectations. So if you're approved for 600,000, you shouldn't be looking at $800,000 houses. I mean, people are going to want to do this regardless, but don't do it. If you're representing the buyer, that's your choice. You know, you're pretty much wasting your time for the most part, and do this a few times and you're gonna learn really quick. Your buyers, you know, they can have you running all over Ontario and showing houses for weeks or months, and they're just looking at stuff that is way beyond their price range. There are exceptions where sometimes you can get lucky, and I'm going to say that it's lucky because if the market value is set at X and you know you're looking beyond that, sometimes you may have a motivated seller. I mean, typically they're not going to take, you know, $150,000 less, but it depends on the location, where the market is, how long it's been on the market, things like that. So if you get a lowball offer, I'm going to say to listing agents, don't take it personal. First of all, it's not your house. You're there to represent the sellers, and you're there to do your best job. And if you take offense to it, I don't feel that you're in the right mindset where you can actually have really good communication and work together to secure a property for your buyers. And the selling agent, he or she can't be offended because, like I said, it's just business. There's different reasons why people might put in a lowball offer. There's many reasons for that, but work together. I would say reach out to them and find out why they put in the offer that they did. They may have comparables. The comparables may be outdated, or they may not actually be very good comparables, but that's something that you guys can negotiate and discuss amongst yourselves. So I would recommend actually just reaching out to the other agent, because even if you don't know each other, we're not strangers. We're here to make phone calls, and we're all in the same boat. We're all doing real estate. We're all working hard, trying to cooperate with each other and make deals happen. And making deals happen is what it's all about. So it doesn't matter if you're a buyer's agent or a seller's agent, work together. That way the buyers and the sellers both, the agents as well, but looking at the buyers and sellers primarily, it's beneficial for them when the agents cooperate and work with each other. So you can reach out to them. That's what I would recommend. And, phone call is nice. Email is a little bit less personal. However you're comfortable doing that, that's, knock yourself out if you want to call or you want to email. I would say I prefer having phone calls to discuss things with agents. That way they become familiar with your voice, with you a little bit more. It's more personal. It's a better way for agents to recognize you and know you better. So I don't have an issue phoning any agents, regardless of what brokerage or what dealings I've had with them in the past. I have had rough dealings with agents before in the past, but I never hold that against somebody we don't know what kind of day they've had or what kind of clients they had or you know what life circumstances they have going on. So always remember when you're doing real estate that it's just business, and really it is. So reach out to the other agent and ask them why or how they came up with that price that they offered. They may have a serious, a legitimate reason why they put in that amount. So you know, asking is always good, and I feel that communication when you ask questions, yes, there are stupid questions, but when you ask questions, you also learn, and you can always learn new things about people and have good. I feel like an agent would respect you more if you reached out to them and asked them, you know, why you put this, rather than sending them an email that you're offended and maybe being snarky and what I would say is fairly unprofessional. Don't take things so personal. It is not personal. It doesn't matter if it's your listing, excuse me, or your client's listing, or you're representing buyers or sellers or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not personal. It's business. So reach out to the other agent and ask them, you know, what the situation is, why they or how they came up with that amount, why they put in an offer for that amount. You never know. They may be able to come up quite a bit. They may be just testing the waters. So it's always good to reach out and have good discussions with them. You know, let them hear your voice and always be friendly. It doesn't matter even if they're not friendly with you. Always remain professional. This is how you stay good in the business. I have seen agents have their issues and things have gotten pretty serious. You know, I've seen agents that will tell each other, you know, I remember agents who I've done business with who weren't pleasant and things like that. So I've never really had any issues with any agents. I'm always, you know, very respectful and kind. And I know one thing among realtors is a lot of the younger realtors, you know, the newer generation of realtors, they're tired of hearing all of the older agents that have been around for 20, 30, 40 years saying, well, I've been in the business for 30 years. That, I mean, that comes up all the time. It doesn't matter if you've been in the business for 30 years. Yeah, you probably have some good experience there. You've been through a few things. You've written a few offers. You may have an agent who's been in the business for 5 years or 3 years who's written more offers in that amount of time than an agent who's been in the business for 10 or 20 years. You know, so I don't feel experience is necessarily you can associate the two with how long you've been in the business. I would say a combination of how long you've been in the business and how many offers you've written. It doesn't matter if they're successful or not. I do think it is important to have successful offers because that comes in with negotiating skills. But work together, get your clients' homes sold, and get your clients into a new home, representing the sellers or representing the buyers. Help them find what they need and work together with the other agents so that you can have successful dealings with agents, with buyer and seller clients. And so lowball offers, work together, discuss it, find out what's going on. And you know, they're probably not going to tell you their client's personal information. You know, if there's a financial issue or something like that, the agent shouldn't really be disclosing any of that anyways. Nothing that could affect the deal. But work together, have open communication, and try and work out a deal together because it's really not personal. So if you get a lowball offer, remember this: work together. You're representing the sellers and the buyers, and your job as a realtor is to make the deal happen. So go out of your way, do extras, communicate very well. Don't hold harsh feelings if your offers. If you can't hash something out, that's fine. It's just business. Take care for now.